Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another legendary tabletop live stream. Today we're going to be playing some more Wingspan. We got Wingspan base game and the Asia expansion. So we're playing with the Asia bird cards. And we'll be playing solo versus the Automa. So we need to get some end of round goals out here. And for round one, we got birds in the grasslands. So these are just the base game end of round goals, I think. No. Maybe not. Okay, so now we have just the base game end of round goals. So round two, we have enclosure nest birds with at least one egg. Round three, total birds. And for round four, we have birds in the wetlands. Okay. Now we're going to pull a bonus card for the Automa to use throughout the game. Okay, so we have Food Web Expert. So this is birds that only eat worms. 9% of cards. Okay, so that's not a lot of the cards, but that's going to be the Automa's bonus card. So when they do the play a bird action, they'll be taking birds from the tray that only eat worms. All right, and then we'll fill up this tray here. For the start of the game. So these will be the three birds that are out. We have Clark's Nutcracker, House Finch, and the ruby-crowned kinglet. Just make this little adjustment here. That looks better. Okay. So those are the birds in the tray. So we have Clark's Nutcracker, 5-point platform nest, holds 2 eggs, costs 3 food. So when activated, gain a wheat from the bird feeder. If available, you may cash it on this bird. Okay, so you can either cash it or keep it, right? And then the House Finch. So when activated, tuck a card from your hand behind this bird. If you do, draw a card. That can go in any habitat. And then we have the ruby-crowned kinglet. So that's a when played ability. Play an additional bird in your forest and pay its normal cost. Alright, let's roll the feeder. So this will be the food available at the start of the game. So we have a nice variety there. And now we're going to draw opening hand 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So we have the red-headed woodpecker, the yellow-billed cuckoo, a mandarin duck, the aninga, and Bell's vireo. And then we'll get 2 bonus cards and we'll choose one of those to keep. So we have bird feeder and cartographer. Yeah. Okay, this mandarin duck is a Asia bird, so this is round end, draw 5 cards from the deck, add 1 to your hand, tuck 1 behind this bird, give 1 to another player, and discard the rest. Alright, things aren't looking good for cartographer, but it is only 2 to 3 birds, so that might be easier. Might be a better bonus card to go for. I really don't like the starting hand. I think the mandarin duck is a good wetland option. So it's a round end ability to draw 5 cards from the deck, and then you add 1 to your hand, tuck 1 behind this bird, and give 1 to another player. So we are playing with Automa's Horde, so each card would be 2 cash tokens. And then we have Bell's Vireo, so that's a bonus card bird, so when played, draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1. Red-headed Woodpecker's a little expensive, but I think it's the same as Clark's Nutcracker in the tray. So we have gain a wheat from the bird feeder if available. You may cash it on this bird. The yellow-billed cuckoo is a pink power, so once between turns when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay an egg on a bird with a bull nest. Yeah, that's a little expensive for that pink power. Could just keep Mandarin Duck. Maybe a Ninga. And we get 3 food, so we would keep worm, wheat, fish. I like this idea. We'll take Cartographer as the bonus card. And discard Bird Feeder. And then we're going to discard these 3 cards, so we get 3 food. So we'll take a fish, worm, and a wheat. I think the house finch is better, but this is the opening hand. So we have the Cartographer bonus card. We got Mandarin Duck and Ninga. And then we always go first against the Automa, so yeah, we can play the Mandarin Duck with our first turn. So the Mandarin Duck is a worm and a wheat, and we're going to play it in the wetlands. So it can go in the wetlands or the forest. We're going to play it in the wetlands, pay the worm and the wheat, and that's our first turn. And then we'll flip a card for the Automa. And they're going to play a bird. Okay, so they're looking for birds that only eat worms, and in the tray, yeah, we don't have any birds that only eat worms. So they'll just get a face down card for 4 points. We are playing normal difficulty. Okay, so we need that fish. So we should take that fish from the bird feeder. And then we have the 2 fish for the Aninga. So we gain food there, and then we'll flip for the Automa. They're going to lay 1 egg. Okay, now to play Aninga, we have to lay eggs first. So let's lay 2 eggs on the Mandarin Duck. And that's our 3rd action. So we laid eggs. We'll flip a card here. And the Automa is going to lay an egg and get a cube on the end of round goal. So the end of round goal is birds in the grasslands for round 1. And the Automa will start with none. So that cube puts them at 1. Okay, so now we can play our Aninga. And this is going to be 2 fish and an egg from the duck. Okay, now we can draw 2 cards. Let's flip for the Automa first. They're going to play birds, so same situation. There's no food web expert birds in the tray, so they'll get a face down card. Knocking over the deck. Okay, now we can draw 2 cards. So I do like House Finch. That could go in the grasslands or the forest. I don't know about those other 2 birds. So let's take one off the top first and see what we get. Okay, we have Satire Tragopan. This is an Asia bird. 5-point platform nest, holds 2 eggs. Give a card from your hand to another player. If you do, lay 2 eggs on this bird. Alright, with the second option, we're going to take House Finch. And then we'll activate the Aninga. So we're going to roll all the dice outside the feeder, which is just the 1 fish, and we're looking to get fish here. We got a wheat, and that's our turn. So we'll refill the tray, and the fire-fronted Saren comes out. So that's a grassland forest bird for 1 point, bull nest. Holds 4 eggs, and it's a round end ability to lay an egg on this bird for each bird to its left in this row. Okay. We'll flip. And they're going to remove all 3 of these, worm/wheat, and then we activate pink powers, but we have no pink powers. Okay, there is a cherry. I guess we could take... We really need something in the forest. I think we're just going to take this cherry. And then the feeder is going to re-roll here. And there is a wheat there, which we need, but we just get the 1 food for now. And then we'll flip again for the Automa. They're going to discard the tray, which is good. Get to see some new birds. They'll get a face down card and lose an action cube. Okay, 3 new birds coming out in the tray. The Asian Emerald Dove, Green Bee Eater, and a Rhinoceros Auklet. Okay, so these are all Asia birds. So the dove is, when played, lay 2 eggs on each other bird in this column. The Bee Eater is, when activated, if there's at least 1 bird on the tray that has a worm in its food cost, tuck 1 of them behind this bird. Okay, that's a star nest. And then we have the Rhinoceros Auklet. So this is when activated, roll any 2 dice. If you roll at least 1 fish, catch a fish from the supply on this bird. All players may discard 1 card from their hand to gain a fish from the supply. Okay. So we could take a wheat here and play the House Finch. And then we have... We qualify for the first end of round goal. I really don't like taking 1 food here, but we don't have the best forest options. So we'll take a wheat there and then flip. And the Automa is going to take food here, so the fish. And we don't have pink power, so then we play the House Finch in the grasslands for the cherry and the wheat. And then we have a bird in the grasslands for round 1. So it's going to be 1 more flip for the Automa here, so we'll see what they're doing. Okay, they're going to discard the tray, and they get a cube on the end of round goal, which will tie us for 1 bird in the grasslands. They also get a face down card, so we tie the end of round goal. Okay, round 2 is enclosure nest birds with at least 1 egg. We can refill the tray. There's the painted white start, we like that. Gray catbird and a northern cardinal, also good for the forest. Let's get our cubes back. We might draw both of those cards actually. We still need to do our round end ability. So this would be draw 5 from the deck. Okay, so then it would have been these 3, right? So we would have drawn 5 from... I don't think the tray gets refilled, but we draw 5 from the deck, add 1 to your hand, so 2 more. Okay, we have Little Ringed Plover, Ruddy Shelduck, Gray Catbird, Northern Cardinal, and Painted White Start. So, Little Ringed Plover is another Asia bird to discard a card from your hand if you do lay an egg on this bird. Ruddy Shelduck is the same round end ability as the Mandarin Duck. Gray Catbird is to repeat a brown power on another bird in this habitat. And the Northern Cardinal is a forest bird to, when activated, gain a cherry from the supply. And the White Start is, when activated, gain a worm from the supply. So we add 1 to our hand. Let's add Painted White Start to our hand. We tuck 1 behind this bird. Let's tuck the Ruddy Shelduck. And we give 1 to another player, so we're just going to discard these. And we'll give the Automa 2 cash tokens for gaining a card, and it says discard the rest. So we did that. That was our round end ability, the Mandarin Duck. So we'll refill the tray now. There's the American Robin, the Brambling, and the Hooded Merganser. So Brambling is a round end ability to draw 2 cards from the deck and add them to your hand. Then tuck up to 2 cards from your hand behind this bird. Alright, so I think we need to take food here. I do like the robin. Let's lay 2 eggs. We don't have an enclosure nest yet, so we're just going to lay 2 eggs there. And then we're going to tuck this Satire Tragopan. And we'll pick up the American Robin from the tray. So that's our first turn. We'll refill. And we have the Scaly Breasted Munia. So that's when activated, gain a wheat from the supply or tuck a card from the deck behind this bird. Alright, so we need to flip this round tracker over to round 2. Remove this round 1 card. And we'll shuffle the Automa deck. I really want to play this Painted White Start. And then we can play the Robin here as well. And then we're getting 2 foods, tucking a card, and getting a 3rd food. So that's pretty good. We'll flip a card for the Automa's first action. And they're going to play birds. So in the tray we have no birds that are food web experts. They'll get a face down card. Okay, so we can take a worm from the feeder. Still just getting 1 food at a time is pretty bad. Flip a card. They're going to lay 2 eggs and lose an action cube. They don't have any action cubes yet. But for round 2, it is enclosure nest birds with at least 1 egg. So they're going to start with 1, and each cube will be +1. So, yeah. Okay, now we can play the Painted White Start. So this is going to go in our forest and cost 1 worm. And then we'll flip again for the Automa. They're going to discard the tray. They'll gain a face down card for 4 points. And then we'll refill. We got Black Stork, so a round end ability to lay an egg on each of the birds immediately to the left and right of this bird. Okay, Red-Shouldered Hawk could be good. And Barred Owl is also good. So they have the same, when activated, ability to look at a card from the deck. If it's less than 75 centimeters, tuck it behind this bird. If not, discard it. Alright, we're going to take food here. We have 4 actions left, so we can take food. We'll gain a cherry. Then we activate our painted white start to gain a worm from the supply. And that's it. Flip for the Automa. They're going to discard these cards again. I really liked one of those forest birds, would have been nice. But there they go. They'll get a face down card and then another cube, or a cube on the end of round goal. So they do have two enclosure nest birds with at least one egg now. And we'll refill the tray. This is the Eurasian Coot. So when activated, tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. A violet cuckoo and a white-headed duck. Okay, this violet cuckoo's an Asia bird. Once between turns, when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay an egg on another bird with a wingspan less than 30 centimeters. You may go up to 2 over its egg limit while using this power. So that could be good. We have the painted white star and the house finch. We could have 8 eggs on there. I wonder about that ability. Can you use it on 2 different birds? Like, could we have 8 eggs on the house finch and 5 on the white start? Or can you just use 1 bird? That I don't know. The white-headed duck is draw 3 bonus cards and keep 1. So a little better than just drawing 2. And the Eurasian Coot, tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. That could be really good. We're gonna play the American Robin, I think. I think we're gonna play it in the forest here. Alright, so this is going to cost either a worm or a cherry. Let's use the worm. And then we'll spend an egg from the mandarin duck. Okay, we have an enclosure nest bird. Now we need to get an egg on this before the end of round. So okay, we'll flip a card for the Automa then. They're gonna take food, so there's only 1 food left, so we need to re-roll first. And they're gonna take worm / wheat, and then we activate pink powers. So we have no pink powers. So what can we do here? Could draw cards. We have no cards to tuck, so I want to draw cards and then lay eggs. So we draw 2 cards. I think we take this Eurasian Coot. I do like the violet cuckoo as well. I don't know how often we're gonna get pink powers anymore for the rest of the game. The Eurasian Coot is another enclosure nest bird, but we'd never get it down and get eggs on it, so... What about white-headed duck? So it's a 4-point bird for 2 food. When played, draw 3 bonus cards and keep 1. Yeah, we're not doing so hot with Cartographer. We're just 1 away from the lower 3 points. We have American Robin, and that's it. I don't know if Mandarin counts. I guess it would. There is a Cartographer's Asian bonus card. I don't know if you're supposed to mix the original bonus cards with the Asia expansion. We're gonna count it. So what do we draw here? Let's draw one off the top. All right, we have blue grosbeak, and then we'll take the Eurasian coot from the tray. So those are our 2 cards. And then we're gonna activate the Aninga, so we'll roll this 1 dice. And we need a fish, we don't get the fish. And then we can refill the tray, and the turkey vulture or black vulture comes up. So we'll flip a card here. They're gonna take food again. So this cherry comes out. Again, we have no pink powers. So now we're gonna lay eggs, and I think we're gonna pick up that violet cuckoo. And we wanna make sure we get an egg on the painted white start. So we'll just put 2 there, and then we can tuck this blue grosbeak behind the house finch, and we'll draw the violet cuckoo, and then we'll refill the tray, and the bald eagle comes up. And that was our last action for round 2, so the Autumn is going to take 1 more, and they're going to lay 2 eggs and lose their action cube, putting them at 1 enclosure nest bird. So this is another tie for the end of round goal. Then we'll flip the round tracker over to round 3. Remove this round 2 card. Shuffle up the deck. Okay, we still need to do our round end ability, so we have the Mandarin duck here. So we draw 5 from the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we have Crested Ibis. Alright, this is when played, draw 2 new bonus cards and keep 1. Other players may discard any 2 resources, food, eggs, or cards to do the same. We have Graceful Prania. When activated, discard an egg. If you do, gain a worm from the supply. The Brown Shrike. All players may cash a worm from their personal supply on a bird in their grasslands. Carolina Wren. When played, draw 2 cards. And then the Prothinatory Warbler for 8 points. A white, no power bird. It could go in the wetlands. So what do we want here? I think we take this 8-point Prothinatory Warbler. Yeah, we're going to take that. So we add 1 to our hand, so that's the one we're adding to our hand. We tuck 1. Let's tuck the Carolina Wren. And then we just give 1 to another player. So 2 cash tokens to the Autumn, and we discard the rest. Alright, that's the Mandarin Duck done for round 2. Alright. Yeah, we need to refill the tray. Almost forgot. So 3 new birds coming out. We got Desert Finch. So 6-point bull nest bird. When played, lay an egg on this bird for each other bird in your grasslands. Mississippi Kite. And the Great Cormorant. So that's a Asia bird. So when activated, you may move 1 fish from this bird to your supply, then roll any 2 dice. If any are fish, cash a fish from. If any are fish, cash 1 fish on this bird from the supply. All right. I think we're gonna take food here. maybe we draw cards first. Yeah, let's draw cards. We get 2 cards. We'll take one off the top. Okay, Spotted Dove. And then we'll take Mississippi Kite. So Mississippi Kite is going to go with our bonus card. So we need 4 birds. And we have the Eurasian Coot as well. So that's going to be good for us. We drew 2 cards. Now we're going to roll all the dice outside the feeder. So these 2. And we're looking for fish here. We got 2 worms, so nothing. Refill. And the Northern Shoveler comes out. Then we'll flip a card for the Automa. They're going to play birds. So there are no Food Web Expert birds, so they'll just get a face down card and a cube. And this round goal is total birds. So for round 3, total birds, they will start with 8, and each cube is +1. So they have 9 total birds right now. We have 5. Oh boy. Yeah, let's take food. And we'll just get these. Oh, let's take a rat and a wheat. And then we'll tuck a card from the Robin. So we're going to tuck the Spotted Dove. And we may use that to pick up the Northern Shoveler. Although it is a bit expensive. I think we're going to take this Northern Shoveler for 7 points. And then we gain a worm from the supply, from the White Star. Alright, we'll refill the tray. And we got the Swainson's Hawk. Alright, the Automa is playing birds again, so another face down card and a cube. So they have 10 birds. 10 total birds now. So we can play Mississippi Kite. We want to play that in the grasslands, I think. And that's going to be an egg. And then a worm or a rat. Let's use the rat. Okay, now we have American Robin, Mississippi Kite, and Mandarin Duck. Let's flip a card. And they're going to take food, so we do need to re-roll the feeder. Okay, cherry, then fish. So there's 2 fish. They'll come out. Then we activate pink power. So I probably should have played this violet cuckoo a long time ago. I think we want to play this Eurasian Coot next. In the wetlands for a wheat and an egg. And now we have American Robin, Mississippi Kite, Mandarin Duck, and Eurasian Coot. So we've maxed out Cartographer. We'll flip a card, and they're going to discard the tray. Get a face down card and lose an action cube. So back down to 9 birds. We'll refill. We got Barrow's Golden Eye, Large Billed Crow, and the Sri Lanka Blue Magpie for 9 points. So that has a round end ability. You may cache 1 food from your supply on each of your other birds. Wow. I think we draw cards here. Or we could lay eggs. Or just take the food we need for the shoveler. I think we do that. Let's take food. So we're gonna get 2 food here. We need a worm and 2 wheat to play the northern shoveler. So let's get 2 wheat from the bird feeder. And then we'll activate the robin. So we're gonna tuck the violet cuckoo. It's a little late for this bird. And we'll use that to draw Sri Lanka blue magpie. Or large-billed crow. So large-billed crows, when activated, cache a food from your supply on this bird. If you do, you may tuck a card from your hand behind this bird. The magpie is good for 9 points. We just take that. And then we'll activate the white start and get a worm. Refill the tray. That's a cool looking bird. So the white-browed tit warbler, when activated, for each bird in your forest with an egg on it, roll any 1 die, choose 1 type of food you rolled, and gain 1 of that food type from the supply. Alright, we're flipping a card. They're gonna discard the tray, so kind of glad I took that magpie. Get a face down card, and we'll refill the tray. So there's the pileated woodpecker, the little grebe, and the barn owl. Pileated woodpecker would be good. With 1 action left, I think we're going to use it to play the northern shoveler here. So this will put us at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 birds. It's going to cost a worm and 2 wheat. And then 2 eggs. That's all we have. And now we have 8 birds. So hopefully they lose an action cube here and we can tie. Because right now they have 9. We'll see. Yes, so they're gonna lay 3 eggs and lose an action cube. So we do tie the next end of round goal also. So that's a tie all the way so far. So we've tied each end of round goal so far. So put that there. And then this comes out, the round 3 card comes out. We flip the round tracker to round 4 and shuffle the deck. We still need to do the mandarin ducks, so we draw 5 from the deck. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we have coppersmith barbet. We got king rail, blue rock thrush, the willet, and the red-eyed vireo. I like the vireo. There's king rail as well, so we could get a bonus card. If we did the vireo into the magpie, would be really good. I don't know. There's a coppersmith barbet. Let's take red-eyed vireo. We have 1 more wetland bird we can play, so we have prothinotary warbler in hand. So this could be our last wetland bird, which will give us 5 birds in the wetlands for round 4 goal. All right, let's take red-eyed vireo. Let's tuck blue rock thrush. And we'll discard the other 3 and give the automa 2 cash tokens. I don't know if they get cash tokens from round end abilities or not. It does say from your brown and white powers only. So I don't think that's right. Maybe we just don't give them cash tokens. Alright, we'll refill the tray. We got 3 new birds coming out. The olive-backed sunbird, a barn swallow, and the brant. Alright, so we really need to get the food here. We're just missing a rat. And we may be able to get enough food here to play our red-eyed vireo in the Sri Lanka blue magpie. So let's see, we have 5 actions left. We could take food once, lay eggs, do the double play, and then take food maybe 2 more times. Or we could draw cards and tuck 3 cards. We're just not getting a lot of points here. Yeah. Let's try that. So we're going to take food. Oh, we may have to tuck a card. I think we draw cards first. Oof. So if we draw 3, let's draw 3 off the top. We got the hooded warbler, could be better. Doesn't go in the wetlands though. Then we have yellow rumpet warbler and the chestnut collared longspur. And then we draw 1 from the deck, and the Automa gets 2 cash tokens for that. That is a brown power. And then we can tuck up to 3 cards from our hand behind this bird. So we'll tuck the white-breasted nuthatch, the yellow rumpet warbler, and I guess hooded warbler. Do we really want to do that though? Yeah. Okay, so we'll tuck those 3. Now we're gonna roll the dice outside the feeder. So there is 4 dice outside the feeder, and we're trying to get fish. We did get a fish. So we got a cash on the Aninga, and that's it. All right, let's flip 1 for the Automa. They're gonna discard the cards and get a face down card. Round 4 is birds in the wetlands. So the Automa will start with 3, and each cube will be +1. Did I give them a face down card? I can't remember already. I think I did. So we got the forest owlet, scissor-tailed flycatcher, and the Baltimore Oriole, 9 points. Alright, let's take food. So we get 2 food, but there's only 1 left now. So let's re-roll. And we're looking for a rat here. Okay, we did get a rat. And for the second option, let's take a wheat. So we got rat, wheat. And then we'll tuck this chestnut collared longspur, I think. And we can draw a card from the deck, or we're never going to be able to play Baltimore Oriole. So let's just draw 1 from the deck. We get red-tailed hawk. And then we get a worm from the supply from the white start. And that's our second action, round 4. We'll flip a card. And they're going to take the rat and activate pink powers. So that's come up a lot this game. The activate all pink powers. And I never know. You never know when it's going to come up as often as it has. If we would have had the violet cuckoo down, we never would have had to lay eggs. We would have been able to go 2 over the egg limit for 2 of our birds. Maybe 3. Anywho, we're gonna lay eggs. We lay 3 eggs. Doesn't really matter where they go. Then we roll all the dice outside the feeder, so we're looking for rats now with the Mississippi kite. No rats. Then we'll tuck this red-tailed hawk. And use it to draw a card from the deck. We got the American Kestrel. Alright, 2 actions left. I don't know what we're doing. Most likely just laying laying eggs. Gets us 4 points. So let's flip one. And they'll discard the tray. Face down card and a cube. Okay, so they now have 4 birds in the wetlands, and so do we. So I wanted to play Prothinatory Warbler, but I don't know if we're going to get there. Because we're going to use all our eggs on this, and then we're just going to lay eggs again. We could play Prothinatory Warbler instead, and then that way we win the end of round goal or tie. So I guess we have to do some math there. It would be like 5 points if we tied. Plus the 8 minus 2. 6, so like 11 points. Or if we do a double play with the red-eyed vireo and the magpie, would be 12 minus 3. So 9. If we play magpie, if we do the double play, and then instead of laying eggs we take food, we would get 4 food, and that's 4 cash points as well. So that might be the move. And we just hope they lose an action cube here. So let's stick with this. Let's do a double play. We're going to play the red-eyed vireo for 1 worm and 1 egg. And that says when played, play an additional bird in your forest and pay its normal cost. So we're going to play the Sri Lanka blue magpie for rat, worm, cherry, 2 eggs. Okay. And then we'll flip a card for the Automa here. They're going to play birds. We forgot to refill the tray. Blue-winged warbler, they're going to take that face up. Spotted sandpiper is going to go. And the Chihuahua and raven is going to stay. So an 8-point face-up card for them. We'll refill. We have white-faced ibis and red-breasted nuthatch. Alright, so we could lay eggs. We would get 4 points, right? But if we take food, we get 4 food and a tuck, so that's 5. So I still think it's better. If we lay eggs and we hit on the Mississippi kite, then it's 5 as well, but I think it's better to just do it this way. So we're going to take 3 food. Let's take, it doesn't really matter, we're going to use it to cash, so let's just take a worm, or let's take wheat, no, worm. And re-roll. And we'll get rat and fish. And then we'll tuck the American Kestrel. And draw 1 from the deck. Red-vented bulbul. Then we'll gain a worm from the supply. And that was it. That was our last action, round 4. So we'll flip 1 more card for the Automa. They're going to lay 3 eggs and get a cube on the end of round goal. So they end up winning the end of round goal with 5 birds. And we have 4. Now we could have tied, but I still think it was better this way. I could be wrong on that. So they're gonna win this end of round goal with 2 cubes there. They have 5 birds in the wetlands. And we just have the 4, so we get the 4 points. Okay, and then we'll do our round end ability. So we can do this in any order. So let's draw 5 from the deck. And we'll see what we got. So greater prairie chicken, willow tit, sandhill crane, Baird sparrow, brewer's blackbird. Really doesn't matter here. Let's tuck greater prairie chicken. We'll add willow tit to our hand, and then we discard the rest. And then we can do the Sri Lanka blue magpie. So that is another cartographer bird, Sri Lanka. You may cache up to 1 food from your supply on each of your other birds. So we just go down the line. So we end up getting 6 cached food here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we have 6 total. And that's it. So now we just add up the score. And we're going to add the bird points first. So we have, this is 10 and this is also 10. So 20 down here. So 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 plus 9 is 41. So we have 41 bird points. And then for our bonus card was cartographer. So we definitely have Sri Lanka, American, Mississippi kite, Mandarin, and Eurasian and Northern. So we have the 4. So we get 7 points from our bonus card. And then the end of round goals. We tied all but the last one. So we split these points. So this is 2. This is 3. So that's 5. And 4 is 9. Plus 4 is 13 points from bonus cards. Or end of round goals. We actually have no eggs on our board. So we get no points for that. And then we have 6 food on cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 1 point for each tucked card. So we have 3 behind the coot. Should have 4 behind the duck. So that's 7. This is 10. 14 tucked cards. So 14 tucked cards. And then we add up the Automa's score, so they don't get any horde token points. Because they just have 2. And then they have 11 eggs. The end of round goals are 7, 11, 14, 16. So 16 points from end of round goals. And then face up bird cards, they have 8 points, so just the blue winged warbler. And then each one of these is 4 points, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 48. All right, so we got 61, 75, 81. So 81 points. And then the Automa's got the 48 plus 8 plus 16 plus 11. So 83. So we lose by 2 points. That's pretty bad. All right. So I think we're gonna shuffle up these cards and try again. See how we do. We got time for one more game. And we'll just mix these around and flip them over. This seems like a pretty egg heavy game if we do that. So we have eggs in the grasslands, we got eggs in the wetlands, then eggs in enclosure nests, and then sets of eggs in each habitat. So that's a lot of eggs. And we'll just shuffle these cards in with the other cards. And we're gonna play on normal difficulty again, so flip the round tracker to round 1, shuffle up this Automa deck, and then we'll pull a bonus card for the Automa and see what we got. Alright, this is Grassland Population Monitor, so this is not a percentage card, so we can't use this. For the Automa, pull another one. Ecologist also can't be used. Anatomist is cool. That's the Asia version, so this is birds with body parts in their name. And there's some new body parts added, I guess, to the Asia bird bonus cards. Alright, so we have the end of round goal set. So round 1 is eggs in grasslands. Then we have eggs in the wetlands. Then we have eggs in enclosure nests and sets of eggs in each habitat. So let's roll the feeder. Alright, so 3 worms, a fish, and a cherry. Let's fill up the tray. See the birds out there. So we got Say's Phoebe. Alright, that's a when played ability to lay an egg on each of your birds with a bull nest. House Wren, so another when played ability to play an additional bird in this bird's habitat. Pay its normal cost, and then a pink power, the American Avocet. Alright, let's draw an opening hand. So we get 5 cards. Alright, we have Western Tanager. We've got Yellow-bellied Sapsucker, the Verditer Flycatcher, the Common Yellowthroat, and the Logger-headed Shrike. And then for 2 bonus cards, we get to pick one of these to keep. Oh boy, we have Forest Ranger and Grassland Ranger. So this is Forest Ranger is consecutive birds in the forest with ascending or descending scores. So the victory points on the bonus card. Same thing for Grassland Ranger. I don't really know. I guess we would do Forest Ranger since we have more forest birds right now. We really need to decide what we're going to keep though and how we're going to play it, because the Yellow-bellied Sapsucker, so this is when activated, gain a worm from the supply. The Verditer Flycatcher is if you've gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, gain a cherry from the supply. I like Yellowthroat. Probably keep that. Western Tanager is gain a worm or cherry from the bird feeder if it's available. Yeah, and the Yellow-bellied Sapsucker doesn't work with the Flycatcher, so gain a worm from the supply. And then it says if you've gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, so you'd have to take one first. And then there's the Tanager, so it is 3 food. A little too expensive. Maybe we just do Verditer Flycatcher. And let's get rid of Grassland Ranger, so we're not going to keep that. We're going to keep the Forest Ranger. So consecutive birds in the forest with ascending or descending scores. So we would play this and then either go down in score or up. Who knows? So let's keep... We get 3 food. We're going to discard these 3 birds. So the Logger-headed Shrike, Yellow-bellied Sapsucker, and Western Tanager are getting discarded. So the opening hand is Verditer Flycatcher and Common Yellowthroat. So we need 3 food. We can't keep 2 worms. So let's keep worm, cherry, and then 1 other food. Maybe just wheat. Yeah. We could play the Yellowthroat and just dig for more forest cards. I really don't like Forest Ranger card or the Grassland Ranger card, trying to play birds based off their score in order, ascending or descending. But we didn't have really much of an option there, so thank you for the follow, Miss Puffles698. So yeah, we're gonna start out just by playing the Common Yellowthroat, and we're gonna play this in the wetland. So this is 1 worm. And then we played a bird. So we can flip a card here for the Automa. And they're going to take food. And there's that activate all ping powers again. The one and only. The one and only. Is it a 1-player game? No, this is 1 to 5 players. But yeah, we are playing solo. So there's a Automa built into the game where you can simulate an opponent pretty much. You use this deck of cards and you flip a card for them on their turn, and then they do something, and then it pretty much simulates an opponent. Like for example, they're gonna take food on this turn, starting in the order of So like it's round 1, so we match this up. So they're gonna take food. So they're gonna take rats, then fish, then cherry, then worm and wheat. So if we look at the bird feeder, there's no rats, but there is a fish. So the fish comes out, and then we would activate all pink powers. We don't have any pink powers. I made a prototype for a 1-player board game once. Oh, that's cool. What was the theme? This theme is birds. So yeah, this is Wingspan. Alright, so we need some cards. That, or we could take a worm and get this Verditor flycatcher down, but I don't know how I feel about playing that first, being as it's 5 points. So it's right in the middle for our Forest Ranger bonus card, and we want to have ascending or descending score. So we would either have to go making friends with NPCs. Making friends with NPCs. Yeah, so we could take a worm. Kind of want to finish it, but I changed medium. What's medium? Making friends with NPCs. I mean, like non-player characters. Changed medium. I've never designed a board game, so I don't know. It would take up like a table and need to be set up for weeks on end to get progress. That sounds like Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven's good. It's much better if you can keep it set up. Yeah. That's like more like a... Oh, you're making a digital game instead. That's cool. So yeah, we're probably going to draw cards here. We could lay an egg first, and then draw 2 cards, and then draw 2 more and discard 1. So maybe that's the move. Yeah, and then we can see what we get. It runs off IRL time. That's crazy sounding. That sounds pretty cool. Alright, so we can lay 2 eggs on the common yellow throat here, and then that'll allow us to draw 2 cards next turn. Alright, let's flip for the Automa. They're going to discard the tray. And then they'll gain a face down card for 4 points and a cube on the end of round goal. So eggs in the grassland for round 1. They're going to start with 1. So each cube is +1. So right now with that cube they have 2 eggs in the grassland. And we have none because we don't even have birds. So let's refill the tray. And this will be nice for... See some new birds. We might pick up this American crow. There's also an Oriental magpie robin and a Eurasian marsh harrier. American crow I like. Marsh harrier is good too. Up to 3 times draw 1 from the deck. When you stop, if the bird's total wingspan is less than 110, tuck them behind this bird. If not, discard them. So a little bit of a gambling bird from the Asia expansion there. You can just keep drawing until you get over 110, then you have to discard all the cards. But if you stop, you can tuck as many as you have, up to 3. So that's pretty good. But yeah, we're going to draw cards. Where is that player mat / board from expansion or Etsy? Are you talking about this? This is from Asia. Yep, so this is the base game board, like it's the same as the regular base game, but this comes with Asia, so I can show you the back of it real quick. So yeah, so we have the Asia board, right? and on the back side is the Oceania expansion. So you get 2 of these because the Asia expansion allows for 6 to 7 player gameplay. So they give you 2 boards like that. And yeah, it's obviously different art on the background, so yeah, it's a little cooler. We laid eggs once and we played a bird. But yeah, this is nice. I always use this, and then these are just the base game boards, not open. So this is what the original base game board looks like here. Right. You don't have the Asia expansion. Yeah. So we're playing the base game mixed with the Asia bird cards right now. We're not playing the duet map. So it gives you the Asia expansion gives you the duet board as well. So it gives you a different way to play a 2-player game. So there's actually another board where you place a duet token, and yeah, so you get bonuses. So there's card draw, there's a wetlands, grasslands, and forest area, and you can place duet tokens there to get extra bonuses. And there's actually a way to play that solo too, but it's a little finicky, so we're just playing the normal solo way. Does Asia do anything different with the solo version? Yeah, so that's exactly what I was just talking about. So there is there's a duet board, and you would take this card. So you get these Asia bonus cards, right? Or Asia Automa cards. And you actually take this card and you flip. So you put this like this. If you're familiar with the Automa, so you would take these. So you have your 2 Automa cards, round 1 pointing at round 1 like this, and then you would flip this card here and put it center, right? And then you would do this normal action, so discard cards, gain an action cube on the end of round goal. And then this is where it tells you where to place the duet token on the duet map. So this is the actual duet map. This is a small picture. I can kind of zoom in here for you a little bit. So this is what the duet board looks like in this little picture here. I don't have it. Yeah, so then it tells you, so you start on, since this is an X cube with an X through it, you start in the bottom right, and you work your way across the board like this, and then up and over again. And then you're looking for, this cube is pointing at nest, or a food type, sorry. So then you would find the first food type, and then since this is blank, it would be in the wetlands. So that's where the cube would go. And if you can see, this is kind of like wetlands in the middle, grassland over here, and forest is up here. So yeah. So yeah, it's definitely neat that they did that. But it's a little finicky to play solo, especially on stream. They're always placing duet tokens, and it's really hard to keep up. But I do like the duet map. It's a different way to play. Yeah. I'm so lost now. So we didn't actually take this third action. We were going to draw cards, right? Because there's only 2 here, and we never drew cards. So I think what I want to do, so the whole reason I laid eggs, hopefully that answers your guys' questions. So I want to draw cards here, and I want to discard an egg to draw a second card. So we can draw 2 here from the deck, and we got the red-wattled lapwing. All right, that's another Asia bird, and then we have yellow-headed blackbird, which is also good. Then the common yellow throat allows us to draw 2 cards, and then we would discard 1 from our hand at the end of our turn. So we're going to take the American crow, and then we'll pull 1 more, and we have Bobolink. So we got 4 cards here, but we do have to discard 1, since that's the end of our turn. Let's discard Bobolink because we have no enclosure nest birds. And we keep these 3. So we're already getting 3 cards from our wetlands, which is good. We can refill the tray. Oh, and there's Wilson's Snipe, so that's another good bird. So this is eggs in the grassland for this end of round goal, which is cool. We did pick up the American Crow, and I think we'll play that for a cherry. So let's play the American Crow. Wait, it's not our turn. So we need to flip one for the Automa first. Okay, and then they're going to lay an egg. So this is pretty simple. Just give them 1 egg. And it's worth 1 point at the end of the game. And that's all they're doing. So then we'll play the American Crow, like we said, into the grasslands. Now we want to make sure we get an egg on that by the end of the round, so we qualify at least. And we're going to pay the cherry there because the American Crow eats any food. Okay, so that was our 4th action, so we'll flip the Automa card for their 4th action, and they're going to play birds. So their bonus card is Anatomist, so it's birds with body parts in their name. We have the Oriental Magpie Robin, Wilson's Snipe, and the Eurasian Marsh Harrier. Yeah, none of those are body parts, so they're going to get a face-down card for 4 points, and that is that. All right, now we can lay eggs here, and we picked up this red-wattled lapwing, but I like the blackbird a little better, I think. The question is, do we want that Wilson Snipe? We'd be getting 4, 5, 6 cards from our wetlands. That would be really good. If it's still there, we might take it. Or do we just take it now? I'm in really no hurry to play birds. So yeah, maybe we draw cards. And do we want to discard an egg? I don't think so. Not this time. Let's take Wilson's Snipe. Okay, so we drew 1 card, and then we can draw 2 from the yellow throat, and then we have to discard 1 at the end of our turn. So we got American Bittern and Cedar Waxwing. So we're going to discard Cedar Waxwing here and keep the American Bittern. All right, then we'll refill the tray, and the black-bellied whistling duck comes up. So we're going to flip a card for the Automa. They're going to lay 1 egg, and they're going to get another cube on the end of round goal. So eggs in the grasslands. So they start with 1, and they have 2 cubes now. So that's 3 eggs in the grasslands they have. Now we can have a max of 2 with the American Crow. So we should probably start working on that. We can get 2 eggs there. We can lay 1 here, 1 here, and then we activate the crow to discard an egg from another bird to gain a food from the supply. Now I want to get a worm here so that I can play the yellow-headed blackbird and then Wilson Snipe. Hopefully, eventually, is the game plan. Alright, that was our 6th action, so we'll flip a card for the Automa. They're going to lay an egg and lose an action cube here. So going back down to, what did they have? 1 egg in the grasslands. Yes. Okay, so they're back down to 2 eggs in the grasslands, and then they lay another egg here. So that's just their total eggs. Alright, so we can play our yellow-headed blackbird here in the wetlands. So this is going to cost a worm and a wheat. And we'll take the egg from the yellow throat, I think. Alright, so we've played 3 birds here. And then we'll flip. We have 1 action left after this, so we're going to flip a card. They are going to lose a cube, so they're back down to 1 egg. So that's good. We could win the end of round goal. And then they'll discard the tray and gain a face-down card for 4 points. And then we got 3 new birds in the tray. So we got white-throated swift, a tuck and lay bird, the violet green swallow, which is another tuck and draw bird. And then we have rosy starling. So this is an Asia bird. When activated, tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. If you tuck at least 1, gain a worm from the supply. Okay. So then if we were going to play something like that, we would put it here and then put Wilson Snipe here. We would draw 3 cards, 4, tuck 3, 4, and then draw 2 and discard 1. So we would get 1 card, I think. Yeah, I really want to get this forest engine going. We got nothing going for us in the forest. So we can lay eggs with our last action, and then we can get 2 eggs, and that would hopefully win us the end of round goal, unless they get a cube on their last card. So we're gonna lay 2 eggs, and we'll put 1 on the crow and 1 on the common yellowthroat, and then we'll activate the crow to discard an egg. And let's see, we could gain. I do like the rosy starling, but tucking 3 cards, I don't know if we'll be able to support it. So, and I want to get this forest engine going, so let's take a cherry. And that was our last action for round 1. So the Automa's going to get 1 more flip here, and we'll see what they do. All right, they're going to play birds. So this is birds from the tray that have body parts in their name. So we have the white-throated swift is what they're going to take face up. So that actually helps us because it's only 2 points. And then the violet green swallow and the rosy starling do not have body parts. I don't think swallow is a body part. No. So this is the new updated Asia bonus card. So there's a lot more body parts in there. Because waddle is apparently a body part. I don't know what that is. Okay, so then they play a bird, and that's it. Alright, so then these get discarded for the end of round, and then we score the end of round goal, so we do win with 2. So we get the 4 points. They're going to get 1. So they do have 1 to begin with, so they actually qualify here and get the 1 point, so 2nd place. And then we'll get our action cubes back. Refill the tray. And we have common green magpie, the Cassin's finch, and Clark's grebe in the tray. Alright, so now we just have to remove the round 1 card here from the Automa deck. Flip this round tracker over to round 2 and then shuffle the deck. So I'd like to get Wilson Snipe down, and that way we are drawing 3 or 4 cards from our wetlands. And I also want to play this Verditor Flycatcher in the forest. So this is, if you've gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, gain a cherry from the supply. So we might be able to get 3 food. If we have a nice wetlands engine going and we're drawing extra cards, we can discard a card for a 2nd food here. So the cards in the tray, some of these I don't know. So the common green magpie is a new Asia bird. So when activated, gain a worm or a rat from the bird feeder. If there is one, you may cash it on this bird. That's also 5 points. So we have Forest Ranger. We're trying to get 3 consecutive birds with ascending or descending scores. And by scores, they mean the victory points on the bird. So we would have the Verditor Flycatcher for 5 and common green magpie for 5. Or we would start to go down. We could take Cassin's finch If we're going to be getting cherries, it seems good. Let me think about this. So we can lay eggs first. Or draw cards, get an egg here, then lay eggs, and discard an egg from the blackbird to get a food. And we'd probably take a worm. So let's do that. Let's draw cards. And we can draw 2 here. So let's draw 2 off the top. We got ruby-throated hummingbird and the Inca dove. And then we'll activate the yellow-headed blackbird to tuck a card. So we're going to tuck the Inca dove, and then we lay an egg on the blackbird. And then we'll draw 2 cards from the yellow throat. So let's take one off the top. We got Desert Wheat Tear, and then we're going to take Cassin's Finch and discard Desert Wheat Tear. So this is an Asia bird. For each bird in your grasslands with an egg on it, roll any 1 die, choose 1 type of food you rolled, and gain 1 of that food from the supply. So not really interested. We'll take this Cassin's Finch. And that was our discard, so let's refill the tray. Stellar's J comes out. And then we flip a card for the Automa. They're going to lay 2 eggs. So this end of round goal is eggs in the wetlands. And they're going to start with 3. And then each cube on the end of round goal would be +1. Alright, now we're going to lay eggs, so we get 2 eggs here, and we'll put them on the yellow throat, and then we'll activate the crow to discard an egg from the blackbird and gain a worm, so that we can play the Verditer Flycatcher. Alright, flipping for the Automa's second action, they're going to discard the tray, so these 3 birds are gone. And they'll gain a face down card and a cube on the end of round goal. So that puts them right up to 4 eggs in the wetlands. We have 2 right now. So let's refill. Ash-throated flycatcher is interesting. It's a when played ability to lay an egg on each of your birds with a box nest. So we have none right now. And then the tufted titmouse is a double played bird. So when played, play an additional bird in your forest, pay its normal cost. And there is the Great Indian Bustard. So this is an Asia bird. When played, score 1 of your bonus cards now by cashing a wheat from the supply on this bird for each point. Okay, and then also score it normally at the end of the game. So you're doubling the points from one of your bonus cards, which is cool. So what are we going to do with this Verditer Flycatcher? I think we go Verditer Flycatcher. Take food. Play Hummingbird in the grasslands. Then we're getting 2 food. And we can kind of mess around with the grassland or forest ranger. So let's play Verditer Flycatcher. Alright, this is going to go in the forest. And the bird feeder's set up perfect right now for that to work. So if you gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, gain a cherry from the supply. But we're just playing the bird now, so it's worm and cherry. That's it. And we're done. We'll flip a card. They're going to wipe the tray and gain another face down card. And then we can refill the tray. So we got red crossbill, the great blue heron, so double play in the wetlands, and then snow-billed sandpiper, or spoon-billed sandpiper. So draw 2 new bonus cards and keep 1. Other players may discard any 2 resources to do the same. Alright, so we'll take food here. And we'll take a worm. And then we'll activate the flycatcher. So if you gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, gain a cherry from the supply. So we did. So we'll get the cherry. Seems good. And I'm debating on playing hummingbird in the forest. But I think if we play it in the grasslands, we're getting 3 eggs and 2 food. That's pretty good. Just have to watch the egg space, I guess. Alright, let's flip one. They're going to lose an action cube on the end of round goal and lay 2 eggs. Okay, so they have 7 eggs total. And then for eggs in the wetlands, it's back down to 3. We can easily get above 3. So common yellowthroat can hold 4, and the blackbird can hold 3, so that could be 7. So let's play this hummingbird. Get some eggs off the American crow. And we'll play the hummingbird in the grasslands, I think. And we're actually going to use a cherry. And we'll take an egg from the crow. Okay, and then we're going to flip for the automa. And they'll lay 2 eggs and get an action cube back on the end of round goal. So I believe it's 3. Yeah, so they got 4 eggs in the wetlands right now. Alright, and we're going to lay 3 here soon. I'm just wondering, can we get snipe down first? So if we played snipe now, take an egg off the crow, and then we lay eggs. The last turn we still have 3, 4, 5 eggs. Not bad. So let's do that. Let's play Wilson's snipe in the wetlands. So this is going to cost 1 worm for 5 points. Not bad. And 1 egg. We'll take it off the crow. And 1 worm. And then we played another bird. So we'll flip another card. And this time they are going to take food from the bird feeder. So starting with worms. So both these worms are coming out. And then we activate our pink powers. We don't have any pink powers. So let's lay eggs and try to win this end of round goal. So we can lay 3. Let's put 2 on the yellow throat. So that'll give us 4. And then 1 on the snipe for 5. And then we activate our hummingbird. So the hummingbird is... each player gains a food from the bird feeder, starting with the player of your choice. So we could just take that cherry and be that much closer to playing Cassin's Finch. And then for Forest Ranger, we're going 5-4, and then we would need a smaller point bird, so like a 3-point bird or something. Or, yeah, we almost have to. So if we are going to play Cassin's Finch, we might as well take the cherry that's in the bird feeder. And then we give the automa 1 cash token for gaining a food. And we'll re-roll this feeder. Okay, nice variety there. Now we can discard an egg, but do we really want to do that? Let's see. So they have 3 eggs, 4 eggs down. If they get a cube, they win or tie us if we discard an egg. So maybe we just skip the crow for now so that we're guaranteed the win, right? Well, they have 4, so they could still tie us, right? So we're not guaranteed the win either way. Now let's see what they've done so far. Yeah, 2 discards and 2 gain a cube, so I don't know. The difference is we just get to play Cassin's Finch sooner, and then we're gaining 3 food from our forest. Yeah. We'll skip. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we would have been fine. But they're going to take food, and the cherry comes out. And that's their last action for round 2. So we have 5 eggs in the wetlands, and they have 4, so they get second place again. So we're doing all right with end-of-round goals this game. We've won both so far. Then the next one is eggs and enclosure nests. So we have the snipe so far. And we also have red-wattled lapwing in the hand. Interesting when activated ability. Discard any number of cards from the tray, then refill it. If at least one of the discarded birds is a predatory bird, lay an egg on this bird. So there's that. And yeah, we'll start round 3. So find this round 2 card and remove it. Flip the round tracker to round 3. Shuffle this Automa deck. Discard the tray, refill it, and then we get our cubes back, and we can start round 3. So we only have Wilson's snipe right now, but maybe we can find another enclosure nest bird. So 3 new birds coming out. We've got the purple Guyuno, the Eurasian kestrel. So this is an Asia bird. Roll any 3 dice. If you roll at least 1 rat, catch 1 rat on this bird. And then the little egret, so another Asia bird. Draw a card from the deck and add it to your hand. All other players may draw a card from the deck and keep it if it can live in the wetlands. I like the purple Guyuno and the Eurasian kestrel, to be honest. That can go in the forest and get us forest ranger, because we would go 5, 4, 3. So maybe we draw that. We can draw cards first, take purple Guyuno, Eurasian kestrel, and then some extra cards from the deck. Let's see, we got 7 actions or 6 actions here. So let's draw cards first. We get 2. And if we want these, we should just take these now. So let's take Eurasian kestrel and purple Guyuno. We could discard an egg to get a 3rd card. So what does an extra card get us? We do have to tuck on. We have to tuck on the yellow-headed blackbird. So maybe we discard an egg from the yellow throat. And we draw 1 more. Okay, we got wood stork, so that's another bonus card bird that we could play. And then we'll activate the snipe, so we're going to draw a card from the deck. We got purple martin. And then we'll give the Automa 2 cash tokens for drawing a card, putting them at 3 cash tokens. And now we're going to activate the blackbird, so we get to tuck a card. And I think it is going to be purple martin. Although that would be good here, because then we're getting food, eggs, and potential cards. So maybe we tuck something like the bittern. Or that red-wattled lapwing. Let's do the bittern. And then we'll lay an egg on the blackbird. Then we can draw 2, and we have to discard 1. So we got the northern harrier and the Bioweaver. Bioweaver's interesting. Tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. If you tug at least 1, lay an egg on this bird. Yeah. So we're going to discard the northern harrier. And we'll keep this. So we may be getting 3 cards. We could tuck all 3, draw 1, tuck 1, and then draw 2, and discard 1. How many points would that be? 3, 4, 5. That's a decent wetlands engine. It's not like a tucking engine or anything, but let's refill. Red Abadavit. So give a card from your hand to another player. If you do, draw 2 cards. And the Peregrine Falcon. Look at a card from the deck. If this wingspan is less than 100 centimeters, tuck it behind this bird. Alright, that was our turn. We discarded the card already, so we're good to go. Let's flip for the first action, round 3 for the Automa. And they're looking for birds with body parts in their names, and they get a cube on the end of round goal, which is eggs in enclosure nests, and they're going to start with 5. So they have 6 eggs in enclosure nests right now, and we can only get 2. All right, so we have peregrine falcon, red avid davit, and little egret. So no body part birds. They're going to take a card face down, and those birds will stay. All right, let's lay eggs because we get a bunch of food when we do that, I think. We'll fill up the Wilson snipe. We're going to lay 3 eggs. So we'll get this enclosure nest full. So that's 1. We'll go 2, 3. And then we'll activate the hummingbird to gain a food from the bird feeder. Let's take a wheat. And then the automa is going to get a cash token for gaining a food. And then we can discard an egg here. Let's discard one from the blackbird to gain a rat, so that we can play both Cassin's Finch and Eurasian Kestrel. I don't think I care about this red wattled lapwing or winning the end of round goal. Let's flip a card for the automa. Another game from Stonemaier is Viticulture that I want to try because that has the automa built in also. I think that's how it's actually got its name from. I think it's an Italian word. They're going to discard the tray. I just don't know how to play Viticulture yet. So we'll discard all 3 cards. Gain a face down card. And refill the tray. And this is the Stork Build Kingfisher. A Plumbus Red Start. And the Crested Lark. So 3 Asia birds. So the Stork Build Kingfishers, choose any 1 die, roll it once for each of your wetland birds. If you roll at least 1 fish, gain 1 from the supply, you may cash it on this bird. Plumbus Red Start, 1 food for 4 points is decent. When activated, draw a card from the deck and add it to your hand. All other players may draw a card from the deck and add it to their hand if the bird has a worm or wheat in its food cost. Alright. Crested Lark, discard as wheat if you do lay an egg on this bird. Alright, so we don't want to mess this up. We have to play these in the right order for Forest Ranger. So let's play a bird. And we're going to do Cassin's Finch. So this is a worm or a wheat and a cherry. And then it's 1 egg. So let's take an egg from the flycatcher there. And now we have the when played ability to draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1. So let's see what we get here. Alright, we have Falconer. Okay, we have no Falconer birds except for Eurasian Kestrel. Small Clutch Specialist. So this is birds with an egg limit of 2 or less. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them already, and we need 5 to get the 3 points. So that's weird. If we ended up playing Wood Stork, that would be our 5th. I don't know what to take here. So we got... If we play Falconer... If we do Falconer, then... we're going to play this Eurasian Kestrel next. So that's 2 points. But maybe we play Wood Stork, get another bonus card, and we hit birds with an egg limit of 2 or less. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would just hit the 3 points. So I think that's the move. We're going to discard Falconer and keep Small Clutch Specialist. Alright. So we played a bird there. Flip a card for the automa. They're discarding the tray again. Getting another face down card, and then losing an action cube towards the end of round goal. Alright. And we'll refill the tray. So there is the Atlantic Puffin. I like Puffin. Eurasian eagle owl, and the Sri Lanka frog mouth. We'll stick to the plan here so we get our our forest ranger points. We're gonna play a bird in a forest here. And we'll play the Eurasian kestrel in the forest, I think. So this is going to cost a rat and 1 egg. So let's take another egg from the yellowthroat. Okay, now we've done the forest ranger 3 consecutive birds. So we have 5, 4, 3. Now if we play a 2 and 1 here, we get 8 points. I don't see that happening though. Alright, that was our 4th action. Let's flip 1 for the automa. And they're laying 3 eggs and losing another cube they don't have, so 10 total eggs. Alright, we can take food now and get the food we need to play wood stork. We do want to gain a worm though, because if we gain a worm, we also gain a cherry. So let's discard the purple martin. So we're discarding a card, so we get 3 food. And we'll take a fish and a rat, and then re-roll for the 3rd option. So we'll take fish, rat, and then we don't want the wheat, so we're gonna re-roll. And we just need a worm, so we take a worm. Now we did gain a worm. Okay, now we can roll any 3 dice, and if you roll at least 1 rat, so we can just roll random stuff here, huh? So 1, 2, 3. Let's take these 2 and roll the one that's already out. So we'll leave that feeder re-rollable. Now we're looking for rats here. Okay, no rats. We got 2 cherries and worm wheat. And then we activate the Veriditor flycatcher. So this is if you've gained a worm from the bird feeder this turn, also gain a cherry from the supply. So we get that cherry. That will help with playing the purple Gayunal probably next turn. Yeah. Okay, let's flip another card. And they're playing birds again and gaining action cubes towards the end of round goal. So then eggs and enclosure nests for round 3. They're looking at 6. We're just going to keep it at 2. That's really all we can do. And they're playing a bird, so none of the birds here... Oh, wait, mouth is a body part. So they're going to take this frog mouth. Face up for 4, and then we refill it. And that's the black-chinned hummingbird that comes up. Okay, we can play our wood stork for rat, fish, worm. And we get new bonus card. So I think that's the move for now. I was going to do Bio Weaver, we just couldn't really get the right food. So let's play fish, rat, and worm. And 2 eggs, so we'll take an egg from the hummingbird and the yellowthroat. Now this is another when played draw 2 new bonus cards and keep 1. So we're going to get 2 more bonus cards and decide what to keep. Okay, we have enclosure builder. We know we're not doing well with that. We have 1 bird, and then different nest types in the wetlands. That we're doing okay. We have 3, so we'll keep that. So wetland population monitor for 3 points. Not bad. I don't really like those bonus cards from the Asia expansion. And we'll discard the other one. So enclosure builder's gone, and we just got another 3 points from another bonus card gamble. We'll flip a card. This is the final card for the automa round 3. So they're going to lay 2 eggs and get a cube. Okay, so the cube puts them on 7 eggs. So they obviously win the end of round goal. So we lost that one, but we do qualify and get second place. And then we'll remove the round 3 card from here. Flip the round tracker over to round 4. Shuffle up the deck. And round 4 is sets of eggs in each habitat. And we have to refill this tray. So 3 new birds coming out. We got the golden eagle, so an 8-point bird. The Brahminy kite and the American goldfinch. I would like to play purple gayunal. And I think we just lay eggs to do such things. So we have 5 actions left. We can lay eggs. We're getting 2 food each time we lay eggs. So let's lay eggs. And this will help us get our sets of eggs. So we already have 3 eggs down here in the wetlands. So let's put 1, 2, 3 up here in the forest. Or maybe we spread them out. We'll put 1 down here. And then we're going to discard 1 from the wetlands. Oh, wait, that's the crow. So we have the hummingbird first. So we're going to re-roll the feeder since there's 2 of the same. And we really need a wheat here. So we'll take a wheat. And then give the autumn a cash token for gaining a food. And then we can discard our egg now. To gain any food from the supply, let's just take a worm. So we can play our purple gayunal. And then we'll flip for the automa. They're going to discard all 3 cards from the tray. So sets of eggs in round 4. They're also gaining a card. Sets of eggs is going to be 2. So they have 2 sets and each cube is +1. So they didn't get a cube there, but you could see them getting a cube. Alright, we have spotted owl, red-breasted merganser, and a smew. So the smew is an Asian bird, so draw 4 cards, tuck 2 behind this bird, and add the other 2 to your hand. Let's play purple gayunal for 7. And that's wheat, cherry, and any food, so we'll use a worm and then 2 eggs. Let's take an egg from here and here so we still have a set. And that's our second action. And now we can lay eggs the rest of the game to get some sets and some extra food, but it's really just 3, 6, 9 points. Where did I go wrong? Maybe we should have played Red Wattled Lapwing or the Bayou Weaver, but we'll see how we did. We do have some bonus cards. Small Clutch Specialist, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, just the 5. 2, 4, 5. Wow. Yeah, so we're just hitting the lower threshold on all of our bonus cards, I think. We're flipping a card now. They're going to gain food, taking this fish out, and we don't have pink powers. So let's lay eggs for the rest of the game. I think we're just going to lay 3. We should be getting a set each time. We can skip the American crow, so we'll just go 1, 2, 3. Is it worth it to even gain a food? We're going to be giving them a cash token each time. And every 4 cash token converts to a point. So they would end up getting 1, 2. Yeah, 3 more times would give them an extra point. So let's do it once. So we have that food just in case. Let's take cherry. And give them a cash token. And then we skip the American crow. Yeah, so we can't play... We could play BioWeaver, we just can't tuck. Or if we take wheat... If we take a wheat and discard an egg to get a worm, and then take another wheat next turn, we could play BioWeaver, but we would never be able to activate it, so I don't think that's worth it. Okay, that's our third action. Let's flip a card. Alright, they're going to wipe the tray and get another face down card and a cube, so get rid of those, give them a card, give them a cube. Now that gives them another set, so they have 2 sets, plus that cube is 3 sets, and we have 2 sets right now. But we should be able to get 3 or 4 sets here, because we're going to skip the American Crow. So we're going to lay 3 eggs again. We'll just go 1, 2, 3, so that gives us a 3rd set, and we'll skip both of those. Flip a card for the Automa. They're playing birds, so we forgot to refill the tray, but Grondola, Chimney Swift, and Black Tern. So no body parts. They'll get a face down card. And then we lay eggs again, so we're laying 3 eggs. And we're going to make sure we get another set here. So let's put 1 there, and then this is as many sets as we can get because we only have 4 locations or 4 egg spots in the grassland. So we skip both the hummingbird and the crow, and then we flip 1 more card for the Automa. They lay 3 eggs and get a cube. So they tie us. That's insane. They tied us on sets of eggs. So we'll give them 3 cubes, and then we tie the end of round goal. So we're going to split the 10, so each get 5 points there. Okay, and that's the game. So we add up the score here. We do bird points first on the board. So we have 7 and 6 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, 27, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 43. So we have 43 bird points. Bonus cards, we had 3 bonus cards. We have small clutch specialists, so this is birds with an egg limit of 2 or less. We need 5 to 7 for 3 points and 8 or more for 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get 3 points from small clutch specialists. Wetland population monitor, so different nest types in the wetlands. We have 3. We have an enclosure, bowl, and platform. So we get 3 points for there. So that's 6. And then consecutive birds in the forest with ascending or descending scores. So 5, 4, 3, or 3, 4, 5. However you want to do it, that's another 3. So we get 9 points from bonus cards. And then the end of round goal. Well, we're going to split the 10 here. Let's start at the top. So I'm blue. We have 4 there and 5 there. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points from end of round goals. Not bad. Usually do much worse than that. And then we have eggs on birds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 eggs. Food on cards, we have none. And then tucked cards, we have 1 or 2 behind the blackbird. So 2 tucked cards, and that's it. Then we'll add up the Automa's cash. So they have 4, 5, 6. So it's every 4, so they just get 1 point. And then the eggs is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 eggs. And then back to the end of round goals for green, we got a point here, plus the 2, that's 3, and 6 is 9, and 5 is 14 points from end of round goals. And then we'll score their face-up birds, so they have 6 points from face-up birds, and face down cards are worth 4 each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 44 points. Alright, so that's 50, 65, 66, 70, 80. So exactly 80 points for the Automa. And then we have 43 and 17 is 60. 9. So 69. 70, 71 plus 12. So 83. So we win by 3. I must say this is a lot harder than playing with the Oceania expansion and the Nectar. I seem to be winning much higher scoring too with the Nectar. It's going to boost your scores a lot. This you're really kind of stuck with, like, you really need a certain food. You can't spend a Nectar as a wild. Of course, you can always do the 2 food for any 1 food conversion when playing a bird, but I think it just makes all the difference. But no, that was fun. So we played 2 games there. We won 1 game and lost 1 game. So we lost 81 to 83. And these were both games on normal. I usually play on hard difficulty, but yeah, a little bit lower of scores, like staying in the 80s there. I might try the duet board next time, or just play with just the Asia bird cards, not the base game cards. But yeah, we did win the second game 83 to 80. It seems like every time I try on hard difficulty, you have to have a really, really good game to win. But yeah, this was fun. So 2 more games of Wingspan, and yeah, that's going to be it for today. So thanks everyone for watching, and have a good day.